Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Roxy Darling and I make videos of things I create. In this video I'll show you how I created this art doll inspired by hydrangeas, and I started off by sculpting the face. This is a completely different video. I'll leave a link to that in the description box below. And the video after that, I show how I sculpted the neck, shoulder, and chest. In the same video, I also show how I created a silicone mold of that sculpt so I could make multiple plaster casts of that sculpt. So you see the sculpt here and the different casts that I have made to be art dolls. For this hydrangea doll sculpt, whatever you want to call it, I started off with the plaster cast and I sanded it down, and then I put a couple of layers of gesso, which is a primer, on it. And once that dried, I used liquid Sculpey to start adding sheets of Sculpey to the head to sculpt the hair. Once I used my sculpting tool to carve in some lines to indicate hair, I went through with some clay softener just to smooth the lines out so there were no clay boogers. And now I'm beginning to just roll out some clay with tapered ends to begin braiding them together to form the braids in the hair. I start in the middle and then I braid out towards each end. After I add the clay flowers, I will add a layer of liquid Sculpey to the face, neck, and shoulders to smooth out the texture of the skin. That way the soft pastels and the watercolor pencils that I use to add details to the face will be as smooth as possible. After I contoured the body, I started to add soft pastels to the face, but I stopped to add some decoration to the neck and shoulders because I also wanted to add a blush to that. So I do put this down and I switch over to my decoupage material. I call these Nana napkins because they're kind of like what your Nana would use as a napkin for a tea party. And so I'm just cutting out the hydrangeas from a napkin, and I'm going to use those as tattoos for this doll. And I am adhering them with some matte Mod Podge, and then once that's dry, I do go back to adding soft pastels to the face. you see me adding acrylic paint, and this is done before the clay has cured. I am doing this because I want to be able to push the flowers into the clay while it is uncured, because I'm going to be using the clay as a glue. Epoxy Sculpt dries almost like concrete, so this will prohibit me from having to drill into the clay once it's cured. And the paint is also wet, but I didn't care. I just really wanted to get these flowers into the clay before it solidified. After the stems have been painted with acrylic paint, I'm using standard craft styrofoam balls. They're painted black because I was going to use them for another project, but I'll just paint them blue after I wrap them with this Sculpey air dry clay. I'd never actually used this porcelain clay, but I wanted to use it in a similar fashion as the epoxy sculpt that I used for the body. So I'm going to put it on the styrofoam ball, and while it is still uncured, I'm going to paint it with blue acrylic paint, and then I'm going to grab my flowers and then just embed it into the clay. That way when the clay cures, the flowers are embedded permanently. and she's complete. If you liked this video, please hit the like button, and if you want to see the art dolls I create next, hit the subscribe button and notification bell down below. And if you made it this far, thank you so much. And if you want to see the full image of the completed piece, wait till the very end. And until then, bye-bye.